It should be on now.
Yep, I see them pop up on my deal here.
Awesome, perfect.
So,
I pressed accept for it to be able to do it, but I never set it up for destinations.
oh,
Destinations, so I
so
was happy.
yeah. So we'll see. My understanding is as they leave comments, you will not be able to put them up or anything. I will be able to. But
Okay.
so you guys interrupted my sleep last night. Thank you very much. You guys are out on an investigation
Yep. Yep.
on
To,
Pigman Road.
yep. The actual name of the road is Highland Road in Angola, New York. The legends of pigmen come from the late 1800s. Correct me if I'm wrong. Where there was a butcher that lived on Highland Road, and he used to butcher like pigs' heads. And he used to butcher pigs and stuff. He'd put the heads on stakes out in his front yards to try to scare like kids away and stuff that would come and mess around on his property. I'm gonna kind of pick on them. And
Wow.
so that didn't really work. So then what is the rumor is that he would start butchering kids and put their heads on stakes and stick them out there, try to scare other kids off of the property. And so they say that he still haunts that road, and you can hear from the woods. You can hear like pigs squealing. Um, he's been seen walking the road. Um, he's he's there's been things of him like chasing people down the road. And then in the mid 1900s, forward to the mid 1900s, there was a train derailment in that area as well. And for some reason that I don't know, our researchers doing some work on it. We're still working on this project and stuff. Um, that there's a connection somehow from the pigmen and the derailment, even though it was, you know,
Oh wow.
70 years. And
So is this a location that you plan on spending multiple investigations at then?
yes, yep. So I've been into this project probably for a year and a half now. I found this location and I've always been intrigued by it. And I've gone there quite a bit of times. And I'm going to continue to go back there.
That almost sounds like our Guernsey Hollow. We do a lot with Guernsey
Yeah.
Hollow.
Yeah.
Actually, I was just sitting back today thinking if I wasn't doing all the yard work and such that I was doing, it would have been a good day to go there
Mm-hmm.
because we have some new equipment now. So it'd be nice to see if with what we have if that would make a difference or not.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Let me know when you guys do go next. Maybe a couple members from my team and you guys can get together and do something together.
definitely, we're definitely close enough to
Yeah. Yeah.
coordinate stuff.
We've gone there a couple times actually, just like last weekend. Was
Oh,
we
were
went.
you up there? That
Yep.
do they have any of the fencing back up or anything?
No, it's just that like the gate, the one that opens, just that part.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah, it's a shame what they've done. I'm hoping that they will eventually get it back to the way it was before.
Hmm.
Because I don't know if you're there when the wrought iron fence was completely around it or not, but
No, I know. I have not. I went there. I've probably gone there. The first time I've gone there was probably about I'd say a year ago. Um, and the fence I think was still just that normal like door gate.
so you wouldn't be aware of the graves that are close to that gate there.
No.
Yeah, there's several graves right up to the front where the gate is there now. They removed stones from, and there's little kids and such that are up in that front area there.
Really? Yeah, I did not know that. Okay.
Um, I'll look through. I'll look through some of the pictures on the WASP Facebook page and see if I can pull some up.
Yeah.
Because when we first started investigating, we went there during the day and we got in some pictures and where we left some toys and such on a tombstone and such.
Hmm.
So that way, you know, and it wouldn't be a show without Mr. Consultant stopping in. What the Fedorable Pork podcast is going on here? We are just sitting here enjoying our Friday, my friend. How you doing, Matt? I hope you're doing well. Um, we definitely have this new feature going on. I think that's going to be great for everybody that does it in the future. You're able to broadcasted a couple of your places. We're able to broadcast it a
Yeah,
couple of ours. How you doing, Heather? I hope you're doing well. I think you said that you didn't work today. She is another person that's been to Guernsey many times.
okay.
Um,
Taking a break.
taking, yeah, I guess in some ways I am too. Um, this is fun, and this is kind of adulting, but I'll tell you what, I don't really see it that way. I see this hanging out with some friends and
Yep.
paranormal fanatics. So, um, so when you were out on that road last night, did anything interesting happen?
So Jen from JPI went with us, Jamestown Paranormal Investigators.
Yeah,
And
she was on the show with Mike.
what's that?
She was on the show with Mike.
Yep.
When
Yep.
we
So
interviewed JPI.
yep.
Doing great and have today off.
Yeah. They I think they started a TV show now too, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, so she came with us last night, and we had a couple things like sounded like there's people talking in the woods. But you know you're outside too, and
Right.
it's really hard when you feel like someone or sound it sounds like someone's walking next to you in the woods and like follows you because there's animals and stuff out there too. So, but I will say we've had stuff like that. That sound like something was following us. You could hear sticks cracking and all that, and you shine. There's nothing over there. When you stop, it stops, and it would follow
Right.
stuff. So we had stuff like
So,
that, but like you know, it's outside, so
right.
um,
You got a chance that it could be contaminated evidence.
right.
So do you have a small animal or something moving your curtains, or you got activity going on
Yeah,
behind you?
that was my dog.
I assume so because you weren't like, what's going
Yeah,
on?
I tried to cover the brightness because then it gets. I had to shut the curtain because like you couldn't even see me. um, I
Yeah,
thought
I'd
it
rather
was
be
background.
podcasting than doing training videos as well. That's for sure.
um,
So
the other thing that we did have too, it was it's not the paranormal, but it's just the funny now that we're home. But um, it was Jen, myself, a member on my team, Alex, and we had a guest investigator, Braden, who's Alex's cousin, I believe, that went with us.
mhm,
And during we were walking back towards, so there's a legend too that like if you walk from one side of the road to the other, um, there's like more activity picks up and stuff, and you'll get more activity going through that. So we did that. We were walking for quite a bit. We met up with Alex and Braden, who started on the other side of the road. So we just continued to
okay.
walk the other way, and a train was coming. So a train was coming. We heard it above head. We're like, okay, and all of a sudden you heard coyotes, and we actually got on video. JPI Jen was recording on the JPI's Facebook page when
Okay.
this happened. You actually get some of it on that, so you guys can check that out.
So when
But
you say JPI, for those that might not be aware of it, that's Jamestown Paranormal Investigators.
yep, yep. And we so they had a Facebook Live going, and um,
How you doing, Raymond?
during that there was a bunch of coyotes that we heard, and at first Jen was just like, "Oh, it's a dog," and so and right after she said that, there was tons of them, and they were getting louder and louder, and you could just hear them coming closer and closer. And we're
Got
like,
nervous?
nope, that is not a dog. And we ran off for a little bit.
See,
Uh,
now, last time I ran into coyotes, Mr. Leafa said they're deer. I don't know. I have a feeling they were coyotes, but I don't know. I guess maybe I'm more of an outdoorsman than he is.
yeah.
Kid. So, yeah, I'm sorry. My mind was going somewhere for a second and it left. You know. So now you do shows yourself like this.
Yep. Right on the Caps Facebook page.
That's attack deer. Now
Yeah.
that's now is that caps or is that the full name?
Nope. So on Facebook, it's just caps.
Okay.
Yep.
And you do these Wednesday nights normally.
Normally Wednesday nights. Yep.
Okay. So for those that are interested in these kind of shows and such, make sure that you follow Caps on their Facebook page and on their YouTube as well, and check them out on Wednesday nights. I know on my personal page, I will share them when I see them. When you guys are live, I try to share them as much as I can because I've been impressed with the way you guys are growing and moving along as you guys have been. So now you've been when we first did a show um, with you guys on, you guys were very new.
Yes. We were just
So
out too, I think, around there. Still,
yes.
but
So now in this span of time, do you feel like you've grown? Do you think you're about where you were?
I definitely feel like we've grown for sure. Um, when we were first starting out, still a couple. We had a lot of people. A lot of the members have they all have had their own experiences of the paranormal,
Mhm.
and that's a big thing for our team. Is we try to make sure everyone has had experiences in the paranormal, like everyone has experienced that stuff and all that. So everyone on our team is experienced in some way with the paranormal. They've had experiences themselves.
Okay.
And, but a couple of them were new to like investigating and stuff. So I personally, before I started the team in last April, I took a bunch of trainings, met a bunch of cool people um, that helped me kind of learn the equipment, learn more about the paranormal, all that. And come on, Julie, get out of the way.
See,
Um,
no, I wasn't aware that you've taken these trainings and
oh
such
yeah,
before you started the group. That wasn't brought up in the last. And Raymond says, "Hope it's a good day, Caleb. You ever get to Kentucky, give him a shout."
will do. Yep, thank you. Um,
Yeah, I didn't know that last time.
yeah,
I thought you
so
just kind of jumped in cold feet. Here you go.
yeah, no, so I had I used to go all over the place to talk to tons of different people, took phone calls, talked to people all over the place, and wrote down, jotted tons of notes, practiced and did all that stuff really to get going on this, because I didn't really know where to start, and so other
Right.
people had experiences or I mean have had teams and stuff like that. Um, I went to people like that I was able to reach out to that helped me and stuff. And even since we've started, Scott, I met you and you've helped me out a ton as well.
Well, I
Um,
appreciate that. I mean, I
thank
don't feel like I've done much, but I figure I've gotten knowledge from other teams and other groups and individuals. So pass it along. That's where I feel true para unity is doing things like that.
I
Is
mean, and we're always learning, and we love learning new things. So when I did
but
that,
I want to before we get any further, I want to point out that Lee Foot is saying that I'm right and he was wrong, and he wants to give me pork chops because of that. At least that's the way I'm reading it.
what's this stuff?
But uh, and before we get too much further, feel free to send the invite out, the link that I gave you to any of your team that wants to join as well. It
Okay,
doesn't
yeah,
have to be just you. I'm sorry if I didn't put that across that way.
nope, that's okay. I
Um,
will.
Sometimes I get in a hurry and I just kind of go and I forget to put everything out there as opposed to, hey, here it is. So have you had any new equipment since we've last talked that you want to talk about?
Yes. So we've gotten. Can't remember quite what we had when we started, but I will say we have a spirit box that I don't think we've had last time. Um, we have a DVR system. Not sure if we had that last time we spoke or not. So I
I
knew that
think you
was
were just getting it.
just
I
getting
think I
it.
remember you said it was getting in the mail or you just got it or something along those lines.
Yep. So okay. So yeah, that was the first one. We've actually came even further, and we've actually bought a new one since then. So yes, we've had the first one, and now we've came even further and bought a second one. We have a new one. It's a lot more because the first one we bought used off of like Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Um, And I didn't know how much DVRs went for. I thought it was a good deal, but we actually spent more for that used one that was half broken than we did for the brand new one on Amazon.
That's
So
generally how that goes.
yep. So I mean, and the new one works. It's awesome. It's lot you can see it a lot better. We got a new monitor for it, all of that, because the monitor that came with it, the first one had a red line right down the middle of it. It was falling apart. It didn't have no
Oh,
to it. So we bought a whole new monitor and all that stuff. So our DVR systems came a very long way since last time we spoke. Um, yeah, we have the Spirit Box. We've got digital K2s now. So we had the regular K2 with the
hmm.
lights, and then we have one that actually will show you numbers and stuff too.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yep. So we got that. We got the audio recorder. I don't think we've had that we had. Um, yeah, we're doing some new kind of like method thing that I've seen from a couple other teams on YouTube with like solo cups, and you put like a ping pong ball on top of it,
Okay.
and, and like if any static or anything comes through, it'll pick up that ball off the cup. Um,
I've yet to see that yet, so that's something that either I'll look into or see what your experience is with that.
yeah, so we've used it probably once or twice. Didn't really get anything. What we did is we set it up. We set like one up, like at the Wildwood Sanitarium. We set a cup up down in the basement and put a ping pong ball on it and put the DVR on it so we could see and if the ball would pick up off there. Nothing picked up down there. But other thing we did too was we had a little like bouncy ball, the little ones,
Yeah,
and we put it on a chair down there in the sanitarium, and seeing if it would
so
move or fall off the chair.
nice. And it's always great to find new things and try it several times because sometimes in one place they don't want to be bothered with it. What the heck are you doing? Next
Right,
place it might be like, oh my god, what's this? We haven't seen
right.
this. So speaking of the sanitarium there, is it worth the time? Is it? I mean, do you see all the people? Of course, they're gonna blow it up for their YouTube channels and such. Hey, it was a blast. But what do you think?
I think it was definitely a good investigation. It was fun, but for the money, and I know the money goes to keep the place open and all that.
Right,
I
right.
understand that, and I respect that, but it was a little pricey just for what we were given. But it was fun. We all had fun with it. We got a little bit of activity. We've got a couple things on the DVR and stuff. Nothing firsthand really.
Okay.
Um, but going through evidence review, we've caught a couple different things, a couple shadows that we can't really explain. Um, Lots of dust, but there's been a couple things that the way they were moving and the way they like there was this
The,
one that was like hovering like by a chair, hovering
okay.
over the chair, and myself and a couple members of my team were going upstairs. You could see the thing from the chair raise up and then slide right up and up into the staircase that followed us upstairs.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, no, moved. I
I'm
was like,
not. I'm not a big fan of orbs and and whatnot. So a lot of times I'm like, probably does, but not every time. There's times where it's like a distinct flight path, where you can see for an hour where all the dust is just kind of swirling and going to the left. You find one solid one that floats to the right on a direct, So those I'm kind of a little more like, yeah, okay, I can see where that might be. Um, Obviously, and I'm sure you don't call that the only proof of evidence that there's something there. Now, use it to collaborate the rest, okay, but not as a standalone situation.
right. Yeah, no, we won't ever say like one orb that we catch is paranormal or anything like that. Like a lot of times we could still there's like other stuff that would follow. Like what we thought about when we saw it go upstairs is okay, was there any activity upstairs that when we went up there? Like there's this thing that followed us up there. Now was there any activity or anything that we couldn't explain that happened up there? So we
Right.
look at it like that too. try to figure out, well, what could it have been that if it was something.
So now, being a newer team, and I hate to keep harping on that because that's not, but I like to ask about that because now that I've been in it several years, and a lot of people I know has been in it several years, it's easy for us to start putting in rose tinted glasses, and think of you know what I'm saying. So I ask questions with that in mind. um, Lee says it's CGI, and he brings that up because we did put one video out, and it was of an orb and very solid dot, and it went on a very distinct path underneath the door and such, and it was very interesting. Did we put it out there as like, yeah, that's 100% proof? No, but some of the comments we were getting was computer generated image, and we're like, and this was like when we first started. I think we were out like a year and a half, and we're like, yeah, I think if we have the ability to do CGI, we would probably come up with something slightly more than a little.
Yeah, cooler than just an orb or something.
So, how you doing, JWoww? I hope you're doing well. Alex, I hope you're doing well there in Texas as well. JWoww's another WASP member. So, okay. I was gonna ask you about being a newer group. Do you think you guys have some advantages being newer than groups that's been out for a while? No, I'm not asking you to throw shade at anybody. That's not my purpose of this.
I don't know, because I feel like some people look at it as more the older teams have more experience, so they can. So I feel like people go more for the more experienced or the older groups,
right,
to investigate and stuff. So I don't feel like we don't really have much advantages. I mean, it takes. And I guess you could look at it on the other side too, as like, okay, well, we've had this older team come in. Let's see if this new team can find anything different than what the other team has found, or if they have what their evidence is, and what's their thought on it, what's their belief on it. So I guess, but I wouldn't say we have any extra advantages or anything than older teams.
Yeah, I understand, and no, the fedora is not CGI, and I'm doing well myself. Caleb, I believe, is doing well.
Yep.
My thought, as far as a newer group, you guys have that hunger to do more investigating, to get out there and to go, and to where you get those that has been in the field for a while. Just we want to, but we're a little more laid back about it. We're not going to as many cemeteries. We're not going to a lot of things along those paths, as opposed to like, okay, where we have the advantage of saying, hey, we have 12 years experience, contact us and we'll go to your homes. You guys are like, will not have that advantage.
Right. And like we've ran into like we do like we've ran into some people who are interested in that stuff, but they're like, no, we've had a different local team come in, and so we don't need anyone else come in. It's like, okay. So you run into some of those people that are like, oh, I've already had teams come through, other people come through.
Yeah, and that could be kind of disappointing because, and that could be on the way the other team handled it too.
Right.
Leave a sour taste for those that are there,
right.
and not want to deal with another group. That sucks when that happens as well. Now, yeah, I had it. Sorry, I'm getting tired.
Okay.
It's been a long day, but so do you believe that I will become a major podcaster one day? I'm kidding. I'm trying to let my mind process and go through. Guys, generally on Sundays, my hope is that I don't work, and so I have more energy to give you guys. But I had a honeydew list this weekend, and my time was running out. But so do you feel that you would be able to reach out to another team and ask them what they found at a place if you're able to go in after another team, or do you prefer to not have that knowledge
Um,
beforehand?
yeah. So we've we've done that. Like with JPI and stuff. We've we've
That's
uh,
okay.
we've done that. We've reached out to like JPI, a couple other teams, and like, oh, well, you guys done here? What have you guys? What did you guys experience? What are some stuff that you've had? And we'll look at that different. We'll look at different stuff like that, and so we'll use some other teams and stuff and things they've experienced.
Now, would you say that now that you have a team rounded out a little bit, do you have somebody that's a psychic sensitive, or are you guys still looking?
Like on the team,
Right.
so we don't have anyone. We have a couple who may be more sensitive than others, but aren't actually psychic and stuff like that. Um, so we're still working on that. But yeah, we have a couple that are a little more sensitive and will feel things in or before others will. Or
I will tell you, it's not a requirement. You don't need
right.
those. You don't need to have certain people on a team. Whatever team works for you guys works
Yep.
for you.
Yeah, that's
I,
the cool thing with paranormal too. Is everybody does it differently, and it's not wrong. Everyone has their own ways of doing it, and that's
right.
cool.
But and I wanted to point that out just because people feel like there's a cookie cutter way to do things, and yeah, don't break the wheel or don't fix the wheel that's not broken kind of deal. But on the same token, make it your own. Before, um,
Sure, you pick.
I'm not expecting to lose viewers, but while we have a decent amount of viewers, why don't you take a moment and for those that are watching and viewing, please like and share and all that fun stuff and subscribe wherever you're looking at this from, be it our stuff, be it their stuff, be it whoever's stuff. And why don't you tell them about your upcoming event?
Yes. So July 15th, it's a Saturday. We will be hosting our first ever paranormal convention at the Gary Rodeo Grounds in Gary, New York. Um, we're still looking for teams and psychics and stuff like that to join us and have tables. $20 a table. It's going for a good cause. Good cause. It's going for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So our organization, I think. It's I don't have the pad next to me, but trying to remember all the information. So yeah, $20 a table, and you can join us. We're looking for more teams to come out. Um, it's going to be $8 a ticket. It'll be all cash tickets. Tickets will be at the door, and all kids under 10, 10 and under, are free. So they get into the paranormal convention for free. We
Nice.
have a surprise guest speaker. There will be a food truck there. There's going to be some vendors. We'll be selling shirts and other stuff like that as well. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm hoping to get a good turnout and seeing a lot of people there.
Sounds wonderful. And and can they find this event on your Facebook page?
Yeah, so we've been posting stuff on Facebook. We'll be start posting more too. We have flyers. They're gonna be going out. We have some big signs they'll be headed out to, in front of some stores and such. So
Get off that rug.
Lee tells me to stop telling people what to do. Yeah, he's pretty brave right now, but at 4:30 in the morning when he's looking for a ride to work, I bet you he gets left on the curbside. I'll make sure I film it so y'all can see his face when I drive by. I kid. He knows my work's phone number, so. But so yeah, that sounds like an awesome event, and I am pretty sure, I'm about 98% sure that we'll also be at this event.
awesome,
So,
perfect. Yep.
we got some little things to work out, but yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll be there.
Awesome.
So, now I hear the scanner in the background.
Yep.
Now, do you find that's hard to balance that out with the paranormal, or because you're a volunteer, right?
Yes, I'm a volunteer for Gary. I'm gonna turn that down to.
Even put the phone number for my work on the comments there. We'll just leave that be. I'm sure my work probably would love him for doing that.
Sorry about that.
You're fine. So, you think is it hard to balance the two out, or
As in like what do you mean?
like taking your time to be able to volunteer
Oh, okay.
and taking
Oh,
your time to do the paranormal as well as school and work? I mean,
yeah,
you're a busy guy.
yeah, I do a lot. I don't have much free time, but I like it that way. I like being busy. I like doing stuff. You gotta get in there, Julie. But I like being busy. I like staying busy. So when I'm not working, and I'm not in the fire department, not in school, I'm working the paranormal. Obviously, school comes first. So as soon as school is over with, I go to my job. As soon as I get out of there, I'm working on stuff for the paranormal. Tuesday nights we have radio check at the fire hall. Obviously, we get calls whenever.
Right.
That's not planned. So that gets squeezed in as well. Um, Working on the paranormal stuff a lot. I work a lot on that stuff every day. As soon as I have as soon as school's done, as soon as work's done, this is my priority. And then Tuesday nights, my priority is the fire department. When we get calls, I go on calls, all that kind of stuff, all that fun stuff. So I'm very busy, and when I do have a little bit of free time, I'm watching Ghost Hunters or some paranormal show.
It doesn't sound like you have any free time.
No, no.
But so what? Give me a scenario. You're out investigating. You're in the middle of doing a pretty intense investigation. Say things are active and going on. You get a page from the department. Do you up and go, or are you?
Nope. So, in our department, it's all volunteer. So when we're out, I treat the paranormal as a job. So when I'm on an investigation, I'm working. It's another job for me, and especially since we don't really stay like that local. Like we travel out, even like so yeah. So we travel out. We go different places. Like next weekend we have an investigation that's like 2 hours away. Um, so we don't really when I'm home and I'm working on paranormal stuff, like whether it's with going through evidence review or stuff like that, and we get paged out, I'll go. I'll take a break from the paranormal and I'll go help whoever's in need. But
How you doing, Davey?
out investigating, it's quite almost impossible unless like it was a big fire and I wasn't super far away and I could get
Right.
there. But yeah, we don't. I don't take away from investigation time. If we're investigating until we're done.
So pretty much the hat you're wearing at that moment is what you're doing, and
Yep. And then like I said though, like when I'm home and I'm working on stuff, sometimes my job too. If it's a big fire or something, I can leave my job and go to do that. But like I said, that's only for big fires. I won't. We usually get enough on the board to handle everything else. But yeah. So
that's pretty cool. And I'm sure you probably hear it from people, but I know everybody that's watching here, even though it's not directly in our area, appreciate what you do for as far as volunteering in your department. And I know this might fall on deaf ears, I don't know, but a lot of volunteer fire departments, and I'm not trying to do a PSA, but I guess I am. A lot of volunteer departments are now very short-handed, very short staff. So if you had ever contemplated becoming a volunteer fireman or firewoman or fire person or however that works out, take a few moments, take a half hour, go down to your local department and talk to them. I mean, worst case scenario, they say, look, we're staff. and we'll look for future help. But just take the time, go down, talk to them if you've ever had the want or the desire, and give them a hand. Those guys really could use a little extra help nowadays.
Yeah, and to add on to like what you said there, even like a lot of people, what we hear from a lot of people is, oh, I'm too busy for that. It's volunteer. Even if you make it to one call, every couple weeks, that one call, you're helping somebody, and you're helping us out by helping this person out. And when we're short staffed, and you're right, a lot of volunteer departments are short staffed. We're short staffed, and so we're working with a handful of volunteers that have to also handle work, their family, and all that stuff, and then come and volunteer when we get called out. So it's
And it could be as something simple as directing traffic and
yep,
things like that. You don't have to be 100% tip top shape running in fires. There's other
right.
ways to help.
There's different things like, and even if it's carrying a stretcher, like you said, directing traffic. There's tons of stuff to do. And the cool thing too is when you're in a volunteer fire department, if you want to get a training like an interior training or an EMT, that's all paid for by the department that you're in. So
Is that statewide or nationwide, or is that specific to New York State?
you know what, it might be New York State. And I forget that you guys are in Warren. You guys are in PA.
Well,
But
and then there's people watching from all over the states and
right,
the world.
yeah, that's something you have to look at for your own state. But I know for New York State,
How you doing, Ingrid?
trainings and stuff. Me personally, I love helping people out. In the paranormal field and in the fire department, I love helping people, and so it doesn't take much for me to do what I do.
I wasn't really planning on putting that out there, but it's definitely a good message to do.
Yep.
So, but now, since you've gotten your DVRs and such, do you think that's the best way to go for video evidence, or do you think you wish you had more of a mobile setup? Because we kind of switched from DVR to mobile handheld camcorder type deals.
Yep. So
and speaking of which, we had one just happen.
Yep, we have the same exact one actually. We have 4 handhelds, and we have our DVR camera, and then we also use our phones to take pictures and videos off our phones. We have iPads that we use to take pictures and videos off of. So I think we're pretty set on that part. And so we have tons of stuff for that. Like I said, we have four handhelds, a DVR system, iPads, phones, all that stuff. So I think we're pretty set on the video part and taking pictures and all that.
Do you think DVRs are beneficial, or do you think?
I think they are because we do have someone stationed at command a lot. Like usually, there's always like at least one or two people at command watching the cameras, all that stuff. If they see something weird, something pop up. Hey, can we get a group over here to camera 2 in the basement? There's some stuff going on or whatever. So it's beneficial for that. Also, when you go back and you look at that stuff, we can't be everywhere at once.
Sure.
That for years. You can't be everywhere at once. So being somewhere and then having a DVR over here that can pick up stuff, you go back and watch that. Oh my God, look what we got that we would not even know if we didn't have a DVR. So I think
is yours wireless or?
It's wired. It's wired. We like the wired better only because I've heard some bad things about the wireless and how sometimes they won't connect right, and people have a lot of issues more with the wireless than we do wired, and we still have a lot of energy to still be able to go up and set up all the wires and stuff like that. Maybe years and years down the road, when we're getting tired of setting up and taking down wire all the time, we may go wireless. But for now, we enjoy doing the wired, and I feel like it's easier in a sense, not having to deal with all the stuff that can come with wire.
Hoping that
there's pros and cons either way, but
I'm hoping, and I plan on looking into it, and this will probably make Leafa happy, is a wireless DVR system.
Well, if you do that and you have any extra wire, reach out.
I believe I got tons of wire already.
We'll buy some off you. So
I'll see what we have and go from there. Ingrid, I'm not sure if that was what do they call them, gifts, like GIFs or what that you posted, but it comes up blank.
Oh yeah. I see it.
That's the one thing I hate about StreamYard is things like that they don't show. But I
No,
appreciate whatever it was.
no emojis will come up. I did not.
No,
News to me.
no. So I appreciate whatever it was. But I'll see what we have and cameras and such, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a DVR system and it served us well for a lot of years. It truly did, but it just really got outdated and just wasn't. Oh, I definitely appreciate that. Thank you.
Awesome.
But so it definitely got outdated and just not. And to get it switched over, I'm not sure about your stuff, and I don't mean to keep going on about this.
No, you're good.
But when ours, it had a lot of converting over to the right kind of video to watch and to put onto something to share with everybody. It was a lot of work. One camera, we would record, say, 4 hours. It would take me for one camera, I would say, roughly 4 hours of video, about 18 hours to get it all watched, converted over, and everything go. And the system had 6 cameras, 4 cameras. So you start adding all that together, that's a lot of time. So that's kind of why I backed away from the DVR system. Though I seen that technology is a lot better now, a lot more wireless stuff, a lot more easier to convert things over. So we'll probably start heading back that way as well. But
The only issue we have is like I said, our system's brand new. Our DVR that we've got now is newer. We've only used it probably like twice, I think. Since we only had it for a couple months, and we just gotta get some microphones for it because it doesn't come with audio on that one. So we've got to set up audio separately on that one. So we got to get like certain microphones that you plug in and stuff.
right.
So done a couple investigations where we really wish we had sound for certain situations and we didn't have it, but it's still good to go back and review the video. So we'll be getting microphones and stuff for that as well.
Preaching to the choir. So now we've discussed the past and the semi-present. In the future, what's good? You got anything big coming up other than the Paracon type event, or?
Oh yeah, we have 2 pretty big investigations scheduled. We have next weekend. We have the work with me here. Yeah, I forgot. You know what? Let me see if I.
Hey, disappears. You still there though?
All right, the Judson House.
Okay.
I believe it's called
JUD
SON.
Judson.
Yep.
How you doing, Steven? Hope you're doing well.
And then next month we have the Bergen House, I believe it's called.
Not heard of that one.
Yeah, so that one is located. I don't know. I thought it might be out towards Buffalo area.
Okay.
So
you're going further north than us.
Yeah. Yep.
So what one are you more excited about?
You know what? We haven't done much research about them yet. I know our team researcher is doing some research on the one for this week. She'll have that to us by Wednesday. She's very good with getting stuff to us. And then she'll have the other one coming up next month. She'll have that by Friday for us. So then I can actually look and see which one. But I'm excited for both of them.
Well, right. I didn't think that you weren't excited for them.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know one of them right now. So I do know the Bergen House. I will say, okay, I'll say right now I'm more excited for the Bergen one because there's also been there's been Bigfoot sightings on the property.
Oh.
And there's been some other stuff that they haven't been able to explain. There's some really cool stuff to investigate. There's 2 buildings to investigate with that one, the house and the barn. And she said there's tons of activity in both of them. And with the Bigfoot sightings stuff to add on top of that we're able to investigate with, and the woods and all that, is gonna be really cool. So
Do you
how that plays out.
do you believe you have equipment for the Bigfoot side of things?
I don't think we have more than our own set of eyes and ears, and flashlights, but it'll be still cool to kind of get out there and kind of see if anyone can see anything, tracks or anything like that we could get pictures of and share with our viewers and all that and stuff. But um, it'll be cool because it's like a little addition to that. So
Nice, nice. Yeah, I never thought about what was really needed to investigate
you know,
cryptids like Bigfoot and such. There's so many different cryptids out there now.
I'm looking
Um,
to start um a Bigfoot like hunting group, but that's the thing that I've been worried about too is what do you use for that? Like what kind of equipment? What do you need to do that side of it? So I gotta research and do all that kind of stuff. But down the road, I think that's something we would like to start as well.
well, folks in the chat, if you have any suggestions on what to pick up for Bigfoot hunting or
Please share.
cryptid research, drop a comment below. And while you're at it, why not drop a comment about if you're team live or team replay? Hashtag team live, hashtag team replay. I tell you, every time I do these shows, team replay always wins. So I don't know if you guys just are like not paying attention when I say this, but if you guys want to beat them this week, hashtag team live. I don't make the rules. That's just the way it goes, right? But drop comments on what you think we could use to investigate Bigfoot. And I don't want to hear jack links either.
Yeah, we heard some teams. Some members of the team said that yesterday. We didn't get some jack links for Bigfoot. No, we get those. I'm eating them.
No doubt. Yeah, but wouldn't even make it out of the car, right?
Yeah, nope. It'll be gone on the way there.
They'll have to be in the other car. See, like I've seen things like they'll hook up PA speakers and blast what they believe are Bigfoot sounds and big sticks knocking against trees. But outside of that, I'm not quite sure. I don't know, like a Bigfoot urine scent, like for deer, Bigfoot and heat. Maybe you don't want to use that stuff because if the big guy is excited, I don't think you want to be in that path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Lee says, any Bigfoot hunters I've ever heard of just hoop, beat on trees, and throw rocks. Pretty low tech. Well, we can afford that.
Yeah.
That's within our price range. But
No.
So you have those two investigations coming up. Is there anything else that you are excited about? How you doing, Jonathan Myers? I hope you're doing well.
Hey, John.
Another brother in the paranormal.
Awesome.
He's the one that hosted an event, maybe going on 2 years now. It's been a little bit of time. I met him down in North Carolina at the USS North Carolina ship where we did an investigation. It was a huge ship. And my buddy Leefoot got me this down there.
Oh, that's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, but I tried to eat the scrambled eggs. They just didn't taste as good. Old joke. But yeah, that ship was pretty intense. Actually, I did a short. I clipped part of a short where we had some motion sensor lights, and we sat down with some. There were several teams, and I sat down with the paranormal consultant's wife and set a sensor motion light in front of us, and the thing just wouldn't go off. Just no matter what we were doing. Finally, I was a little frustrated, to be honest with you. We were in the kitchen dining area. I was getting a little frustrated, and I said, "Will you just please let this turn on?" And I said that, and I waved my hand in front of it, and it turned on.
Oh, wow.
And a couple seconds later, I was like, well, and it was really dark. So a couple seconds later, I was like, well, I'm sure it's probably blinding you. You could turn it off. And I was going to say, you could turn it off now, but I got barely to the word off, and it shut off. And
Wow.
it's like a 5-minute timer on it. It should have been on longer than what it was, but as soon as I got that 90% out of my mouth, it went off. I'm like, well, okay. So
Wow.
I clipped that down to a short and you can see that short on the YouTube channel.
Okay.
Another short, I think I made it short, is we were doing a spirit box session on deck, and we were going in. We ended the video and all that, and we still had spirit box going. And I said something along the lines of, "Well, thank you for being here, or thanks for whatever," and very clear as could be over the spirit box. You're welcome. It's like,
wow.
yeah. I mean, I understand that in the big city we were in, there's a lot of radio and such, but the timing of that is very slim.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Like there's certain things in the spirit box that you could tell is just random things coming across from radio and stuff. Then there's other things that you could be like, well, there's things that you could kind of tell. You can almost tell the difference with the spirit box.
Right. Once you've done it a little bit, that is. And like I said, it was like I said thank you, and within seconds, you're welcome. That's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
pretty slim chances that's a radio play.
yeah.
But that's down there, and I believe, and Jonathan can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they plan on doing that again. And so if that's a situation that comes up again, I'll definitely let you know.
Yeah.
No.
That's
Yes, Mr. Leaffoot, I agree. If you guys are being observant, you'll see me look up and kind of off in the distance, and that's because I'm sitting in front of my window, and I keep looking up at the sky because it is getting dark. The wind's picking up a little bit, and according to the laptop weather that I have on here, it's saying strong winds coming soon and all that. So, yeah, I believe a storm is brewing up. And so I don't think I will be on here too much longer. A couple more minutes.
yeah. We got some stuff too to do later. We're gonna be working on that website and stuff. So
Website. Go ahead and for the event.
yeah, we'll be on. We'll be on. So you're ready to get off.
No, I mean what website?
Okay, so we're almost done working on our own website to have our website going up. Then we're gonna put the link and stuff on Facebook stuff. And we're actually going to be doing like shirts and stuff like that. I'm making some stuff too. So, and then we're gonna go through some evidence as well from last night. So.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that can be exciting going over evidence, and also boring and frustrating. It's a roller coaster of emotions sometimes.
Yeah, he's sitting there, and it's after a while of nothing. It's like, oh my gosh, then you get something. And it's like, okay, I'm back in it.
So explain to me, if you would, your guys' process of going over evidence. Do you guys gather all together? Do you break it up and give it to each team member?
So, almost set up almost like stations. So, a couple tables set up, different things. Got the handhelds with computer, whatever. We got, some audio recorders and stuff. Got the DVR and all that. And we bring the team over and we split them off. A couple of people going through the handhelds, getting stuff off the handhelds. Some going through the audio recorders, all that. Some of us going on the DVR, working on all the DVR stuff. And then if someone gets something, hey, let's check this out. And then we'll all get together real quick, check it out, see what it is, and all kind of get our take on it. But it speeds the process up, because trying to do it with only 2 people or 3 people and having to do everything, it's quite a bit. So being able to have the whole team together and splitting off and kind of getting at it and tackling it together, we can eliminate big chunks of it that is just plain nothing, get it out, and then we can come back together and kind of figure out, okay, well, we got these things that we were able to kind of get out of our evidence, and let's go through it. So,
And who's the? I believe every team has a skeptic. I believe every team has that. No matter what, it's paranormal person, and then you get the middle ground people. Who's the skeptic and who's the nonstop believer? No matter what.
um, I think we're bailing each other out pretty well. Um,
Oh, there's always those two in the group.
I, because like there's times where we'll all kind of, I feel like, take turns being the skeptics and stuff like that. Because hear me out here, we for certain things. Oh my gosh, did you hear that? That's paranormal. And then someone else will step up and be like, no, well, I think that was this or whatever. Vice versa. We all do that. We're always, some of us are a lot quicker to jump to paranormal real quick, and we
Mhm.
can kind of bring us back together and get us back in line. But then there's also those people that are like, no, that wasn't nothing. No, that was nothing. And everyone else is like, no, that was totally something. How did you not how do you not hear that or whatever? But I don't think there's a certain one that's like always the skeptic and always believing. I feel like we all balance each other out pretty well, and some of us for certain things, some of us will be quicker to say, "Oh yeah, that was," and then we can kind of bring it back like, "No, that what no," but
Yeah, we're all kooks.
yeah.
um, Now, with that being said, do you think that sometimes you guys are too hard on your evidence, where maybe you should be a little more lenient and show a little more, or do you think it's
I think so. When we first started, we were every little stuff. We were trying to show everyone, and we got a lot of backlash for that. Oh, there's nothing here, or oh, this person just wants their 5 minutes of fame. Those are actual comments that we've gotten from
oh,
people.
I believe it.
But yeah, so we were kind of, we went through it and kind of are a little more careful with the evidence that we show on Facebook. With our clients, we'll show some more to our clients than we will with, like, people on Facebook and all that, just because people are quick to, stomp it down, and not that we listen to anybody. I mean, if people don't believe it, that's their own choice. But there are people that are quick to. We've had someone that bullied a couple members on our team over Facebook and stuff, and it's not okay. But I mean, people are gonna do what they're gonna do. So we're just a little more careful with what we show on Facebook and what we go through, and we try to make sure. And no matter what you post, though, there's always gonna be that person that's like, "Oh, this ain't crap," or "What are we staring at?" Or But there's always, but you're always gonna have that. But so we're a little
Definitely
more careful with what we show on Facebook.
understandable. When you invite the public in, you're pretty much open to anything and everything that comes your way.
Yep, yep. Well, we've
For-
learned to deal with it. It doesn't bother us, but it's just like,
Fortunately for us, and maybe I don't know, maybe because we are a group of older people, they don't mess with us as much. I don't know, but fortunately and thankfully, we haven't really had a lot of negative when it comes to our stuff
think.
or our group. Um, I will say that Facebook has been more friendly that way to us than YouTube,
Hmm.
but it's very, very, very minimal. It was like just a month ago where I got my first actual troll on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He got me. They got me to say something real quick without me thinking because I was repeating what was on in the chat, and it was like, "Yep,
Well,
you guys got me."
we just tried, but we heard from a couple other people. Like, don't. I don't know how to explain this. Like, don't always like take it, give it back to them. Like, tell them what it is. Like, don't be so quick to like agree with them or whatever. Kind of fight it a little bit with being professional at the same point too, because you don't want that out there on social media either, of you having a very unprofessional argument in the Facebook
Right.
someone else that's just being a Karen or whatever. But I will say you were
Be firm, but be fair.
yeah. Yep. I do think too, like you were saying, you don't have many of those people because you guys are an older group. you guys been around a lot longer too, so I think with us being newer, they're quick to think that we're just finding every little thing and saying it's paranormal. I think they're a lot more harder on us for being a newer group. So I think that
Well,
well.
well, bless you, but I was really referring to our personal ages.
Well,
uh, you guys are still very young, so they see easier targets, in my opinion. Um, whereas they figure we're a little bit older, so it's like,
yeah,
we're not gonna react as much.
right. And I also
So,
think too, though, it's got a little bit to do with also with the experience that plays a part too. You guys have a lot more experience than us that it's a newer group and stuff as well. So
very true, very true. And we were definitely threatened with a lawsuit within our first year of being
really,
a team. Yeah,
oh,
well, actually, I don't even think we were a team 3 months.
oh
It
god,
wasn't a lawsuit from a client, but from a different team in the area. And I'm not going to dig deep into this because
right.
we kind of made amends to some degree and kind of moved on to some degree. Um, but the biggest thing was
Thank
they they felt that we shouldn't be using the name we chosen and threatened us with a lawsuit and so forth. But like I said, that was many years ago now, and for the most part, I think everybody kind of moved along. Maybe not him. He likes to hold on to the past. He's like that one bitter old person. But but no, in all honesty though, it they it was a rough year in that sense, but
yeah.
it worked out. It wasn't a big deal. I will say, as far as I know, we're the only remaining team still around after all these years. There's been a few teams that came and left, and I'm not saying there isn't some new teams around that we're not aware of yet. And if there is, great. Hopefully they'll reach out and any advice that we could give, we'll give and help out where we can as much as we have with you guys
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
others. And that was the biggest thing was we reached out like you guys would have or have for advice from a group that was a little bit older that's been around, and they didn't seem to care for that too much.
Yeah.
But
Been
that was their right.
yeah, we've been very thankful and very lucky that people we reached out with were real quick to help us and stuff as well. So we've been thankful with that. So
We won't sue. No, we can't afford attorneys, so you're pretty safe. But yeah, it's and that's it. I wondered often through the years how many people have reached out to this team or similar teams looking to start a group and they got that kind of response and decided to just, no, it's not worth it. If this is what we're going to be dealing with, it's not worth it. So I often think about that. Well, not so much anymore, but I used to think about it quite often on how many people backed out of the paranormal field just for because of negative things like that.
right.
So, but is there anything, and we'll wrap this up, but before we wrap this up, especially on that note, is there anything that I did not ask you that you feel like you want the public to know or
Uh,
anything you'd like to bring up?
Not really. Just if we have anyone else in here, I'll say it one more time. Again, we have our Paracon, our paranormal convention, July 15th. It's Saturday, at the Gary Rodeo Grounds in Gary, New York. And yeah, there's gonna be tons of different teams there. There's gonna be a special guest speaker. There's gonna be a food truck. $8 a ticket. 10 and under is free.
Awesome.
Proceeds are benefiting the breast cancer research fund or organization. Um, yeah, and if any teams or psychics, mediums, anyone wants to reach out to us to get a table, you can get that for $20.
Awesome. Awesome. And it is limited space. You can't have 1,000 teams in there, right?
Yeah. Nope. Nope. Yeah, we've
Not that
already.
you wouldn't want that, but
No,
okay. Well,
that'd be quite a bit.
no doubt, especially to try to orchestrate all that.
I wish I knew that many teams. I don't.
Um, we'll talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
I think if I had to, off the top of my head, I don't know that many teams, but off the top of my head, I'd probably say I know quickly. I'm sorry, Alex. I mean, not sorry that you're back. Welcome back. But we are getting ready. It's a little late for what now? I'm lost.
Late. Isn't a little late for that.
I don't know. He must have not taken his liver pills. But anyways, I'd say off the top of my head, I probably know 70 teams.
Wow. Yeah. So.
If I sat down and really thought about it and wrote and maybe even write them out, Farrakhan. I'm not sure why you say that's late.
A little late for that now.
That's in July,
Yep, July 15th, Saturday.
July 15th, not this monthly.
Oh yeah, no.
So July 15th is the Farrakhan.
Riley.
Yeah, when it kind of amazes me now when I sit back and I think about it, but when you don't think about it, it's just there. It's just information somewhere in the back of your head. You don't think about it. It's just like, oh, that's so and so from this team. That's so and so from that team, and before you know it, you got a whole list. But with doing shows like this and networking with people and such, you just kind of grow your teams, your knowledge. I'd have to say I know teams throughout a good portion of the United States. I know some in Canada. I know some in England. I know some in Australia. I know
Wow.
one in Japan, um, and probably some others I'm not quite sure where they're at.
Wow.
So it's amazing when I sit back and I think about this little city that I live in, how far I know and how far reach that me and the rest of the WASP crew has become known throughout the world. It's kind of amazing the power of the internet.
Yeah.
But with that note, it was a pleasure having you on once again.
Yes, thank you for inviting me.
Always. Anytime you feel like you want more airtime, if that's the proper way to say the internet thing, if you have more to say and you want to come back on again, you're always welcome. Just let me know. We'll figure something out.
Awesome. Thank you.
And I'll speak to you again soon. All right.
Yep, we'll keep in touch.
All right, my friend.
See ya.
There you go. All righty, people. Paranormal fanatics, paranormal friends. I don't know if this time works for you guys, but if it does, maybe leave a comment somewhere. Let me know. Mid-afternoon, late night Sundays, let me know. I can't do too late on Sundays because I do work Monday mornings, unless I hit the lottery, and then I'll have all the time in the world. You'll never get rid of me. But I don't have much more to say. We'll keep working on bringing up investigations. The weather's getting better, so we'll definitely be doing some more things like with cemeteries and locations that we could get to until other things come up. We do investigate personal homes and such. So if you have an issue going on and have if you have a few questions and you want possible answers, get a hold of me and on the WASP Facebook or leave a comment or something. We'll get back to hold you as soon as we can. So I'm not much sure what else to say other than how about stay spooky, my friends, and I'll see you next time.
Well, hey everybody, thanks for stopping down and appreciate the visit. Now get the hell off of my porch. We'll see you the next time. Come on back.
What the heck? I didn't mean to play Christmas music. Well, I don't know. If you're still here, why? I said the show was done. What are you doing here? Like being shot? I don't know what that was, but hey guys, thanks for once again being part of the show. I need to figure out what that was and make sure that I'm not being fired upon. If all goes well, I'll see you next time. Bye. Stay spooky, my friends.